So the whole purpose of this recipe is that we use a sustainable seafood option. This is side stripe shrimp. It's coming from the west coast just off of BC near the Queen Charlotte Islands. Dor-Bel International Fine Foods sells this for $18 per pound, and we got 54 shrimp out of it. The recipe only calls for 32, so we have some extra that we can snack on. I'm just going to show you how to clean them because most people aren't used to shelled shrimp. It's very easy. In 2 stages, we'll just pull off the top portion first, and then from the bottom near the tail, we'll just easily pull out the meat. And there you go. That's what we'll use to cut up and put into our dumpling mixture. This is the amount of shrimp that we got after we peeled and deveined each of the shrimp. They're each about 1 inch long, and the recipe calls for 1/3 of an inch pieces. So you just have to cut them all into 1/3 pieces, and it's ready for the recipe. We're using the food chopper from Pampered Chef to finely dice our shallots. This is the garlic press from Pampered Chef. You just put a whole clove of garlic inside and you give it a nice squeeze directly into our bamboo bowls, and voila! We've got some great pressed garlic. It releases all of the flavors as well as the oils. So this is lemongrass, and we tried to grate it, but that didn't really work very well for us, so we're just going to food chop it. And approximately 1/2 teaspoon of grated ginger. A handy little piece of ginger and our handy little grater. And finally, we're going to chop our chives. So we're going to post the recipe for this just so that this is a quick, easy process. We've melted some butter into a pan, and now we're going to add a shallot and just let that cook through. We're also going to add the lemongrass. I'm just going to mix that in with the butter so that it cooks evenly. Now we're going to add some lemongrass, our pressed garlic, or diced, whatever you can do, some ginger, and we just want to simply saute these for about a minute or so, just so that we can release all of the flavors. And then we're also going to substitute the sesame oil for canola oil because unfortunately I am allergic and I want to indulge in these gyozas. So we'll just put in a little bit of the oil there. I think the main purpose of the sesame oil for the recipe is for flavor, but we'll add some canola flavor in there too. So we're going to add our chives to our shrimp meat, and then we're just going to give it a really quick toss before we add it to our sauteing ingredients. So quick toss just to distribute it, and then we'll add it in here. Forget the little extra pieces. And we just want to kind of toss it through, and then we're going to add some salt and pepper and also some lime juice for some flavor. But this smells remarkable. If you've ever gone out to eat dumplings, you know the smell. So here's our pepper, and we'll just eyeball it and get as much as we can in here. And then a little bit of salt. And our fresh lime, just right here. It's just 1/2 a lime. Get some great flavor in here, so I'll make sure to do that. And just kind of toss it through until it's cooked. It should take approximately 3 minutes. Alright, so our mixture just finished cooking. We're going to put it into a cleaned bowl. And then give it a little bit of air, get the heat off of it, and then we're going to stick it in the fridge just so that it can cool. And then we'll move on to getting our gyoza wrappers ready for us to fill them. So we got these wrappers from a local grocery store. They're very inexpensive and you get quite a few of them. So what we're going to do first is place it flat on a dry surface, And then we're going to take a teaspoon of our shrimp mixture that we just fried up and allowed to cool in the fridge for a few minutes. And then we're going to place it in about the center, and either use your fingers or a pastry brush to moisten the edges. And then we'll just fold it over, keeping all of the filling in the center, and push the edges together. And then what I did with the last ones is I just stood it up like this and then kind of folded it and scrunched it so that it looks like a professional dumpling. And after I finish doing a few more, I'm going to show you how to fry them. So now we're going to fry the gyozas. Ooh, it's sticky. We're just going to place them in the pan with some heated vegetable oil, and we're going to fit as many as possible that we can. The recipe says about 6 to 8, but of course it depends on the size of your pan. They're super cute, super delicious. We've already tasted one. And then we're just going to let it fry up for about 2 minutes, and then we'll move on to steaming them with the chicken stock. So now we're just going to flip the gyozas, and you can see that they're really nice and golden brown. Those are stuck together. And then after we're done flipping them, we're going to add some chicken stock and then cover them so that they'll steam. So I just bought this stuff. The recipe calls for some Japanese form, but I didn't know where to find it. So I'm just going to add a little bit to the bottom. And this just gives it a little bit of added flavor. And then cover it for probably about a couple minutes. And then maybe wait for the liquid to dissolve. And then we'll pull them out. So now we're just going to pull the gyozas out of the pan after steaming. And we're going to place them onto a paper towel just to absorb the excess liquid. And then after this, what we'll do is we'll serve them up with a little bit of soy sauce and let our guests enjoy, or just eat them all to ourselves.